Hey guys, so this is the last video for my spring version of my Anthropologie dupe wreath. I made a Christmas version of this, or holiday version, back in November, December, and I really wanted a nice spring, fresh version of this wreath. So in my last video, I made these little houses, the link in the description, and I am now ready to actually put them onto the wreath. I have put all of my greenery, foliage, and florals on the wreath already. So I will show you guys how I did that and the process involved. And then I will glue the houses on and we'll be able to see the final wreath in all its glory. I hope you guys stick with me. Please hit like and subscribe as well. Let's get started. These are the 6 mini modern farmhouses that I made for this wreath in place of the mini gingerbread houses on the winter wreath that I had done. And this is the kind of spring neutral vibes that I'm going for the base of the wreath that the houses are going to go on. I'm using a grapevine wreath because I think it's the easiest to get this look and to attach everything. There are so many different styles of grapevine wreaths that you can go for, but I'm just going to use one that I actually already owned and used in one of my holiday videos. First thing I did was went to my local craft store, Michael's, and took a look at all of their spring flowers, which were buy one, get one free. This is really the best place in my mind to go to get something that looks really pretty and have a huge selection. I really wanted to stick with the more neutral white and green look for this wreath. I had a really hard time choosing everything because there were so many options, but I ended up finding a really nice combo that had a lot of texture and really soft, pretty whites and greens. The first thing I did was gathered all my supplies and I sorted them into groupings so I knew what all that I had. Then I just quickly went through and I snipped all of the stems so they were ready to go onto the wreath. And then I grabbed my 6 little houses to lay them out and figure out approximately where I wanted them. This was definitely a different process than the Christmas holiday wreath, just in terms of that already had greenery on it, so I was nestling the houses into a background of greenery already and then just working around that. With this wreath, I was adding the greenery myself, so I had to figure out how that was going to work with where the houses were being placed. Once I found my approximate placement, I was able to go in with my florals and greenery. I was really stuck at one point between more of a blue-green for the stems on these little white flowers or the yellow-green, but in the end, the yellow-green won out. I just felt it was a lot warmer and looked more natural with all the other greenery that I had going on. I used my largest pieces of greenery first, which were actually these olive branch leaves, and then I went in with my smaller greenery after that, just to fill the background as much as I could with the greenery before going in with my florals. I didn't use too many florals. I actually went in with only one bunch of those small white flowers with the yellow-green stems, and then I had the bunches of wild daisies that I got that were in a nice soft white with a bit of a yellow in the middle, and I added those in as well. After I had everything on the base of the wreath, I took my mini houses and I nestled them back into the wreath so I could make sure that nothing was going to be in their way when they were glued on, and I wanted to make sure that things flowed really nicely around them. There's a couple of spots where the flowers kind of trickle over or under the houses, which I think is really cute, so I wanted to make sure I had all that how I wanted it before I got to the point of gluing them on, or even wiring on the greenery in case I needed to move that as well. After a lot of fiddling and getting things exactly or almost exactly where I wanted them, because I just can never seem to be happy with exactly how things are. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I finally had it to a place where I was happy with it enough, and I decided I could get started on wiring most of the greenery down. Some of it stuck in fine to the grapevine wreath on its own, but any pieces that were hanging or that I wanted to sit a certain way, I wired them into place with my floral wire. And then finally I was able to glue my little mini modern farmhouses onto the wreath, which I had been waiting for. I was so excited about this part and to see how everything was going to come together. Okay guys, that is the end of my video. Thank you so much for coming on this little wreath journey with me. I'm so happy with the modern farmhouse style of all of the mini houses that I made. How they sit nice and nestled into all of the greenery and the florals. It just looks really natural and very spring. I love it. I can't wait to hang it up. I will take some pictures and make sure that I include them at the end of this video. Thank you guys again for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment if you were inspired to make a wreath like this as well.